comes on coral roads, soaring tan lines on our toes. Clouds drift over island dreams. We chase the light, we chase the themes. Every dawn a new headline, every face a story sign. Together we greet the day in our Marianas way. Good morning, Marianas, feel the beat. Heartbeats sync with island heat. From song to sand rock, everything is gonna be okay. Morning Marianas, feel the beat. Heartbeats sync with island heat. From song to sand rock, everything is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Hey bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks bro. Hey bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
Malaysia, I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News, and that's where President Trump is as his trip to Asia begins. But the main part is still to come when he sits down with Chinese President Xi.
Some good news from President Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who says a framework agreement has been agreed to with China, which covers rare earth minerals. Those minerals power everything from iPhones to cars to fighter jets, as well as TikTok and soybeans. President Trump arriving in Malaysia, breaking out his signature dance moves before getting serious, providing over that peace deal, ending decades-long hostilities between Southeast Asian neighbors, Cambodia and Thailand.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in Malaysia. There are arrests in last weekend's brazen jewel theft at the Louvre.
2 of the 4 potential suspects are in custody, but the race is on to recover those precious items. The Paris prosecutor's office said investigators made the arrest last night, adding that one of the men taken into custody was preparing to leave the country from Paris's Charles de Gaulle airport. Le Parisien newspaper says he was going to depart to Algeria. The 2 men are in their 30s, originally from a suburb north of Paris, and they are said to be known to French police.
That's Fox's Stephanie Bennett. Hurricane Melissa continues to grow. It is now a Category 4 storm, and it's headed to Jamaica.
Last-minute preparations by the people here in many of the communities, stores that are boarded up, restaurants, hotels, all boarded up, aid groups on the ground, NGOs, State Department, the United States, watching this very, very closely, and officials monitoring, because what we are going to experience is going to be historic here in Jamaica for modern times. The last time anything even close was 1988.
That's Fox's Robert Ray in Kingston. It could be a Category 5 by this evening. America's listening to Fox News.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
ICE and Border Patrol agents have seized hundreds of firearms, which were smuggled from Texas into Mexico.
Agents at the Laredo Bridge 2 port of entry stopped 2 southbound vehicles towing box trailers for inspection. They noticed irregularities in the walls and discovered false compartments packed with weapons. They seized roughly 400 firearms of various calibers, high-capacity magazines, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. Homeland Security officials say the guns were headed into Mexico, where cartels are fueling violence. The 2 drivers, a father and son, were arrested on charges of federal firearms smuggling. The father is a lawful permanent U.S. resident, his son a U.S. citizen. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
Russia says it has a new nuclear missile which can travel thousands of miles. Fox's Jill Nato has a story.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country's tested a new nuclear-capable and powered cruise missile, and he says it's able to get around existing defenses. It's called the Burevestnik. Its NATO codename is Skyfall. And a top Russian general reported it flew 8,700 miles and stayed in the air for 15 hours, and he says that's not even the limit. But Western experts are doubtful about claims that the new missile's got a nuclear engine, saying such an engine would be highly unreliable. Putin has told his forces to prepare the infrastructure needed to deploy the missile. Jill Nato, Fox News.
The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Union at Boeing will stay on strike for the time being. Members voted to reject the jet maker's latest contract offer. It's the 4th time the union has struck down company proposals since negotiations began last summer. Its latest offer included 1.5% increases in wages and a 2.5% lump sum in year 4 for top paid employees. I'm Daria Albinger. This is Fox News.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dan Dan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's the 12 packs of Christmas from Bud Light to you. Buy a pack here at home, win big prizes too. Gather your friends, the season is here. It's the 12 packs of Christmas from Bud Light.
The 12 weeks of cheers are on. Purchase any 12-pack of Bud Light, Budweiser, or Michelob Ultra cans now through December 19th for your chance to win a trip for two to watch your favorite NFL team live, plus weekly prizes. Details at currentcnmi.com.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the good palm trees, we dance through the days. The rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on, feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight repays. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so
telling you.
addicted. Let's hop in
This
the car,
is it.
gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen,
Think about
so
it.
delicious. I need a
What are you
burger and
doing
a
for
soda
lunch today?
with it.
If it's not Ena's Kitchen, is it even lunch? I know. I'm telling you, the specials are so good. They are amazing. And we moved some stuff around. Anyway, but that was a little clip of something that Jordan Paradise has put together that he's doing for Ena's. They're still working on how they're going to make that, all that stuff work and all that. But I just thought it was great. So I'm like, dude, I got to loop this thing. I got to keep it. I got to use it. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So make that what we end up doing. And he's like, all right, yeah, go for it. So anyway, good morning, everybody. This is going to be a great day today. We've got a great show, and then we got a lot of work to do. But right now, especially if you're counting on some of the we're counting on some of our government leaders to go ahead and figure out this whole NAP thing and funding for it all across the states, all across the mainland, and even in the islands south of us. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do too, and they're coming up with plans for everybody to still continue to get their benefits, but it's going to be funded at a local level. Couldn't happen at a more difficult time for the Marianas because we're already struggling with all kinds of financial woes with our economy and our budget and trying to figure out how everything is. But, you know, hey, they're going to figure it out. And if they don't, well, I mean, you could run for office next time and figure it out for them. I mean, it's up to you. But they're meeting today. Their whole plan is for them to get stuff handled. And I know they'll get to it. Anyway, big baseball game tonight. The Saipan Major Leagues, well, they don't call them Major Leagues anymore, but the Saipan Baseball League is back, and it is the championship. Tonight, it is the best of three series kicks off between the Falcons and the Cardinals. It's a battle of the birds right over there. You can see the field from here. It's right down the street. And I love that, Louisa. I'll message Scotty over at godfathers for some of the best pizza in the Marianas right here. I do want to get there. I might have to pick my son up now. My wife just asked me if I could pick him up after practice today. So we're going to figure that out. I have a few hours. That's a problem for future Brad, but the plan was that's where I was going to be tonight, was going to be there for the game, because I don't want to miss it. I want to be able to do play-by-play for it. I haven't done it with you guys for a while. And, hey, it's the championship, so when am I going to do it again? You got to start for a preseason or something? No, let's just get to it. All right, well, everybody's going to be getting around getting some stuff done in the Marianas, you're trying to get to work and find out what's happening. So let's find out what it's like for you out there on the roads in Saipan right now. You take a look out there, so far, so good. All the way around the island. We're actually starting over there by Ina's Kitchen, which is so delicious. And everything along Middle Road heading south is pretty good. A little congestion over there by the what I call the Soda Lord Laundromat and JG Water, JG Salon Ice and Water. But it's not too bad. It's just a little typical stoplight stuff. A little more in Garapan as well. And you make your way south on Middle Road, there's a little touch and go. Slows down quite a bit when you get over by Natural Nail Spa. Ooh, it is a natural way of doing things, I guess. I've not got my nails done there, but I don't get my nails done anywhere. So, hey, over by the intersection that matters, where connections matter, IT&E, things looking pretty good. Just a little bit of folks making their way to the intersections. But other than that, it's pretty good. In fact, all traffic just about everywhere is looking pretty good. Today's a great day for driving in the Marianas at this time. Even in CK, down there by Chalumpiao, everything looks good. Things looking mighty fine along Chalmonseñor Martinez, too. Look there's only a little bit of a backup. I mean, it's a good backup, but it's not terrible. Over there by Shell Dandan, kicking all the way back over on Dajon Drive. Dajon Drive is really that little creep road where you can scoop behind CUC at Joten Dandan building. That's it. That's totally it. All right, let's cycle around the rest of East Drive and take a real quick look, and everything looks wide open. Kind of like our soccer nets when I'm playing keeper, which I did last night. I know, it was crazy. I was not expecting it either, but I was there, and, well, we don't have to talk about that. Let's just say we won, and that's okay. That's all that matters. We got away with a win. I may or may not have scummed a guy, and he may or may not have been mad at me for doing it. But I did. It was all just trying to get the ball. When you look at the game in real time, it looked bad. But when you see it, in freeze frames, it looks okay. Anyway, here we go. Hey, while you're trying to get around, while you might not be able to get around me on your way in to score, you are able to get around on the blue line just fine on Transit CNMI. Take a look at that. That's their website. And they're out there right now getting people where they need to go in the morning. From 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night, Monday through Friday, 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. on holidays and weekends. Well, right now, they are just out and about getting the buses on the routes, and they are terrific. It's only $2 to get anywhere you need to go on the blue line. $1 if you're a student, veteran, active duty military, Monamco, or someone with a disability. And you can get more information by giving them a call at 236-2682. Hey, make sure you pay an exact change, because they are great at getting you places. They're just not great at getting you change. That's how it works for Transit CNMI. They are awesome. Did you know that they're an award-winning transit authority? Yes, they won the best small rural public transportation system award in the United States. The best in the United States. And we got them right here in the CNMI, and they're just starting. Wait till they really get going, and they really let those... like Mark Wahlberg said in the other guys, I'm a peacock, Captain. You got to let me fly. You wait till you see those that flying take place when they get even bigger and expand to the rest of the islands with more service and more destinations, more stops all around the Marianas. Anyway, they're doing great stuff for us, and they could take us where we need to go. We were just talking to them about scheduling the date for when we're going to do the full show from there, and that's going to be a lot of fun. No, I think I don't. All right, I might have to add something here. Right here, we're going to use this music for today. I was going to use this for other sports and stuff like that, but we got to talk to you guys about what's going on in the NFL this morning. Because you see, I'm repping it today. I'm wearing some Bills gear. That must have meant something. Finally, the Bills did not look like garbage today. They actually did pretty well, but let's give you all the scores of what happened. So if you're waiting to watch the game tonight, here's your little timeout. Just to let you know that this is what's coming. Here we go. NFL scores. Ready? Break. All right, we'll start with last week's Friday game. It was the Vikings getting beaten by the Chargers in L.A. 37-10. Wow, that was a great game for the folks from the former San Diego. Dolphins got a big win over the Falcons, 34-10. The Bills couldn't beat the Falcons, but the Dolphins could. Must be nice for them. The Bears go into Baltimore and get a beat down today from the Ravens, 30-16. The Jets get their first win of the season, 39-38 over the Bengals in Cincinnati. It was a close one. Joe Flacco all the way to the end. The game ended on an incompletion, and that was how it went. The Bills finally bounced back, 40-9 in Carolina over the Panthers. They needed that one, and I needed it to keep my sanity. The Texans winning at home, a big win over the ever-injured 49ers, 26-15. Patriots winning again, staying atop the AFC East at 32-13 over the Browns. The EAGLES Eagles beat the Giants 38-20 in Philly. In the late games right now, as we speak, the Buccaneers leading the Saints 14-3. You're probably thinking Baker Mayfield's having an awesome game. Answer, no. Both of those touchdowns were from the defense. And the Colts at halftime leading the Titans 17-7. Is Danny Dimes going to be the MVP? What the heck is going on in this world? The Broncos winning at home with 22 seconds left in the half. The Cowboys are driving, though. They've got the ball first and 10 at their own 48. The Cowboys, though, trailing 27-10. Tonight, the Packers and the Steelers. Well, it's really later today, not tonight for us. The Packers and the Steelers going to be going at it. And that should be a good one. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football, hashtag Tuesday Morning Football, going to be the Commanders and the Chiefs, the Chefs. Hopefully they get knocked off. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not holding any high hopes for that one. But anyway, it's a good deal for the good guys because the Buffalo Bills won. Yes, I'm with you, Bruce. He says, these Colts must be stopped. Indeed. Holy cow, Wilfredo Barbo in the house. Great to see you, Chef. Man, and I'll tell you what is good about that. Hopefully we're going to have the folks from the Lions Club coming in here in the next couple of weeks to tell us all about the Hell of the Marianas that's coming up. That's right, the Hell of the Marianas is coming back again in December. And even better, I'm going to do it. I'm in it. I'm not doing the 100. Let's not get crazy, but I'm going to do the 50. Just to get out there and support the event, and I look forward to seeing how it all goes. I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to have my phone on the handlebars, and I'll be riding and listening to some music, and there we go. Who knows? Maybe we'll get crazy and make a phone call while we're doing that. Maybe we'll live stream the ride. No, you guys do not want to see that. Especially the pain of going up those S-curves in Papago. Nobody wants that. Not even the people who are doing the race. And I'm only doing half. So that's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be nuts. Hey, Luis is giving you guys a heads up saying that at tonight's Game 1 of the championship series, the U15 All-Stars are going to be having a 50-50 raffle. That's right, 50-50 raffle, and the winner will be announced in Game 2 or Game 3 if needed. But 50-50 raffle tonight and in Game 2. That is awesome. All right, and that's a good deal because you know how 50-50 raffles work. Half of the money that's collected goes to the winner. The other half goes to the team. So everybody's happy. The kids get funding for their trip, and somebody's going to go home a little happier whether their team wins or loses. All right, well, there's your sports wrap-up. We have our first guest is in studio with us. We're not going to go anywhere, but we are going to run a quick break for you. We gave you our local sports here, and now let's get you the update from Fox Sports, and then right after that, we'll have our first guest coming your way.
Fox Sports Update.
The 2025 World Series is all tied up, and Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto might be making that $325 million contract look worth it.
Yamamoto goes the
distance again. World Series mastery.
On Fox, Yamamoto with a complete game, his second straight in these playoffs, as the Dodgers beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-1 in Game 2, sending things back to L.A. all even at a game apiece. Elsewhere, it is Week 9 of the college football season. Number 10 Vanderbilt and 15th-ranked Missouri were tied at 10 with just 2 minutes left when Vandy put the ball in the hands of its superstar.
Avia keeps it. Avia leaps. He scores. Touchdown Vanderbilt.
On ESPN, Vandy still had to survive a Hail Mary that was caught just inches short of the goal line on the last play of the game, but the Commodores do pull it out, 17-10. In another good game between ranked schools, number 8 Ole Miss went back and forth against 13th-ranked Oklahoma before taking the lead for good with 11.5 minutes to play.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Elsewhere, the talk that Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza could be the first overall pick in the NFL draft is probably only going to get louder. Mendoza throwing for 3 scores and rushing for another as his second-ranked Hoosiers shredded UCLA. Meanwhile, 4th-ranked Alabama had a scare, falling behind South Carolina by 8 in the 4th quarter. But Bama tied it up with just over 2 minutes to play, recovered a fumble, and then, with 40 seconds left,
Bernard breaks free. Jeremy Bernard. How about it?
On ABC, the Crimson Tide find a way and have now won 7 in a row. Finally, things have not been going great for Bill Belichick in his first season as North Carolina's head coach. But Saturday, his Tar Heels took Virginia, the 16th-ranked team in the country, to overtime before losing on a failed 2-point conversion. You can listen to and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Greg Thompson.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the ocean's call. Rap brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, goes John and Wish. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of the year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. You got to hear all about the sports update. The World Series is tied at 1 game apiece, and now we're going to be talking about other stuff that you should be interested in, not the MLB, but more like the PSS. And joining us in studio today, we have the board chair for the public school system. Holy cow, Koda Ogumoro Uladong. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Ooh.
There we go.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you back in studio. And I know that there's a lot you got going on. You've been doing a lot of stuff since the last time that we had you in here, too. And it was great to see you yesterday at the festival. That was really cool. What a day for all the kids and everything out there.
It was great. I was very excited that we had an opportunity through our CCLHS program to highlight our Chamorro and Carolinian cultures. And props to the program managers, Mrs. De Leon Guerrero, Ms. Pua, the OCI director, Dr. Rizalina, and of course, our commissioner for putting a great event together. I know that we ran into each other that morning. It was a wet day.
Man, so here's what happened. First of all, you guys led off with a great parade, right? That was amazing, seeing all the kids out there having a great time. The teachers, there were parents out there. Polkside was out there too, right? So it was awesome to see the excitement. And then you get in there, you have the big opening ceremonies. You're going to start doing everything. I'm like, all right, I got to go change, get ready for my next thing. I'm going to grab something to eat. And the skies open up, and you guys got the ultimate blessing in the form of rain.
Right. Actually, I took my niece down that morning, and just to be more efficient with our attendance there, we parked at the school and then walked to the Carolinian Ut, where the parade was starting. So I got my extra steps in, and then headed with the whole delegation to Garapan Elementary School. And you're right, the heavens opened up, and it was a downpour. But yeah, I was happy to be there to help open up the festivities for the day. I too. There's been a bug going around.
Yeah.
So I was not feeling well at all. So I hung out for about an hour, and then I had to head home. But the turnout looked great, and I saw some really nice pictures from the day. And I know that there were a lot of demonstrations and performances. But yeah, and I think just to add a note to that, and this is something too that I had brought up in our last board meeting that took place on Tinian 2 weeks ago, and that is a conversation that I've been having with different stakeholders about my interest in really expanding the cultural program at the public school system.
Wow.
And of course in partnership with different collaborating agencies. But I think the idea is, and this goes back to, last year when I was campaigning and talking to you about some of my priorities. But over the year, I've seen the need to really expand our cultural studies, not just in language, but in performing art, visual art, civics. The commissioner knows what a priority it is for me to ensure that we really expand instruction in our covenant and our constitution and our history. So I think that's an area too that we could use enhancement, and I've already brought it up to the board, and so we're going to continue those conversations and hopefully get something more solid together in the next couple months.
Well, I could tell you that there is a lot of interest in it because, when we post up videos and we post up stories and all that, you can see like the ones that really get, they catch on, right? Or go viral or something, right? It's the reactions tell a different story too. Like when you get a lot of likes or loves or, whatever it is on there. That parade just in itself got so much response from the community. And that tells me that it's not just because of that one video or something like that, and it's not just the parade. I think that people really love that the culture is being celebrated.
Right, and it's a pride, right? It's a pride thing in our culture, in who we are, and a reflection too on what we value here in our community. And then on top of that, the cherry on top of that is just the wonderful diversity we have in our community, but also an opportunity to celebrate who we are as Chamorros and Carolinians and the rest of our community. And it's so wonderful to see too. While I was marching in the parade, it was wonderful. My niece was walking with a Chinese classmate of hers together with his mom. And it was also nice to see along the parade route, parents were just so excited and proud. And so that, they ran up ahead and waited for us to pass, and they were taking pictures and filming. So it was great.
It was
a wonderful event.
I absolutely loved it, and I know that the full day of events and everything was great. It's tough. There's so much going on. That was probably one of the bigger weekends we've had in Saipan for a long time, but one of the best, like just a great celebration of local culture, and it was open to everybody. It was free to everybody, and I hope you guys do that all the time.
Absolutely. I do want to add too, I think it was early in the summer, the CCLHS program managers, together with the different instructors from across our school system, they rounded up their students and brought them to Guam for the Micronesian Cultural Festival, I believe it was, being celebrated at Ipao Beach. And I'll tell you, our students really hit the mark, really displayed our culture and our performances and our art. I would say better than the other island groups that were represented there. And then they elicited the most response from the crowd that was there. So that was really exciting to see the talent. And in fact, just last week, and I shout out, I don't know if they have a name for their band, but there were 3 young men from Saipan Southern High School. And they just had their guitars, and they were singing just some amazing classics, classic Chamorro songs from the 80s with that sound in their voice that you could tell was kind of harkened back to that time, just sort of classic. It almost felt like a 50s and 60s kind of tone to it. I'll send you the clip and maybe you can play it on the show, but they were just so talented, and I felt really good listening to them perform, and they wowed the crowd. So shout out to Southern.
Must have brought the house down.
They did. It was great.
Oh, well, we might as well talk a little bit about some of these things. PSS is going to have some interesting times, but there might be some good news, right? I can tell you that I heard from a lot of teachers over the weekend at different events. There's, everybody's everywhere over the weekends. People are worried about what's going on and what the budget's going to do, about the schedule, about the pay, and how they're trying to adjust. I know it's everybody across the CNMI, right? But because you're with PSS and we could talk about it, but I know people everywhere are thinking about it and already experiencing the pinch, right? And the teachers, it's going to be a new thing for them. That like one of them was like, we're going to have to make like $900 less every month now. I'm like, whoa, can you imagine, losing that much, from your house while you're going through austerity? And we're just going to have to figure it out. We're just going to have to make it work.
Right. It's these are some precarious times right now, and also thanks for having me on today. I did want to come on too, and as much as I can, also reassure our stakeholders and our parents, our students, that we've been monitoring this very closely. Really, the situation we're in is really a function too of our economy, and what's happened over the past year. Not to mention, we're in the middle of a federal shutdown right now, but we're definitely cognizant of what's happening. I know that over the past several months, the commissioner, with the first round of town hall meetings, and then the second round, during which I was able to join him, was really being very clear about the resources that are available to the public school system, and the level of those resources that are really just based on actual collections and projections by the central government. And in those conversations with the stakeholders, it was also made very clear too that our position and the position of the State Board of Education, that now more than ever we're going to be watching very closely to ensure that what is due to the public school system as mandated by the Constitution, now more than ever, we want to ensure that we get that amount. I think at the end of the day, Brad, we really want to preserve classroom time, and first and foremost is our students and teachers, classroom instruction, contact hours, and then all of the necessary supports around that. So it's been quite a journey over the past several months, and it's something too that we're very concerned about. But we also want to reassure everyone that as much as we can, these are tough times. We're not the only ones going through this. I don't know if that's any consolation to anyone, but really we are very concerned, and we want to make sure that we preserve and protect that classroom time. And so the commissioner has a really solid team working with him to really be creative and find ways to address some of those gaps in instruction time. And over the next couple of days this week, as the conversations with the legislature and the administration continue, that's something too that we're watching closely, and we want to reassure the community that we are in this together, and we care very much about the sanctity of instruction and classroom time to ensure that our students continue to get that level of instruction that they deserve, and that we want to make sure we secure and fight for.
Well, and you, when I was talking about a little bit of good news, you were sharing that today there's a little bit of good news, at least, with regards to how those kids are going to be enjoying those classrooms.
Right. So this morning, and people see the memo, but a memo came out from the commissioner's office after some review of the previous energy austerity measures that were implemented, the 5-hour AC running. He did send out a memo this morning adjusting that schedule to ensure comfort during instructional hours. And so basically all the schools are now going to be allowed to get their AC units running from 7:30 to 4:30.
Wow.
So
that's a game
silver
changer.
Yeah, silver lining in this time. I know it's been extremely difficult since the initial implementation of those AC hours, and so that's just a little bit of a silver lining at this time right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've got enough that they're going through between the students and the teachers. I love that the priority is going to be on the teachers, on the students and that classroom time. And that, so at least that's one less thing the teachers got to worry about. Ann was saying, hey, this came in a bit ago, but she was saying, hey, if not already, I think bilingual classes should consist of gardening and cooking and not just language. And she asked, she's like, do they still have bilingual classes?
They do. And I think to that end, and that was also another point that I forgot to mention as well in this conversation about an expanded cultural studies program. And that is also to incorporate conservation and agriculture and fishing into that curriculum, and see how we can really incorporate again, more of our practical island living into our instruction. Pivoting just a little, Brad, last week I was having a great conversation. I don't know if you know Captain Mike Bacher.
I do.
Okay, so we were on a call, and I was really just sharing how impressed I am with his program, the Western Pacific Maritime Academy, and the great merchant mariners that he's producing. And I think that's also one area too that I want to revisit and ensure that we're providing enough supports so that we can get our students getting into that training and that trade. And he's done such a great job in keeping the emphasis on the opportunities available upon completion of their program. And he likes to mention again and again, and so it's kind of stuck in my head. But right after completing the program, starting pay is $60,000 per annum, $60,000 a year.
And that schedule that they get is great too. That's where they get like those guys with the pre-position ships, right?
Right.
4 months on, 4 months off. Right, or at least a couple months off.
I'm still learning about the program.
Yeah.
But right now my interest is in supporting it so that we continue to allow that opportunity for our students to take advantage and get that training and certification so that they can avail.
Well, but they get that money the whole time either way. So that's what the great thing is.
Right.
And then on top of that, when you got that money and you're on the ship for that long, because it's 7 days a week when you're on your shift, right? So that is all your living expenses, your food, your everything that you would need, utilities, all that. That's all paid for because you're on the ship. So it's not just $60,000 to start like on day one. It's $60,000 without having to pay for all that other stuff.
Well, you seem to know more than me, but yeah, it's a great program.
It's a great life. Well, it's like, without being in the military, it's the closest thing, right? Because in the military, whatever money you make, and it's not great. But again, all your meals, all your housing, all your insurance, all your utilities, you name it, it's all taken care of. So whatever you make, you just make.
Right. Take home.
And then you get to shop on the base. So it's good stuff.
Good stuff.
So you got some good stuff there too. I saw that in the memo too, about one of the things that in that memo that we got from last week was that schools were going to be closed on Mondays now, right? Starting November 1st?
Right. November 3rd.
November
next
3rd.
Week, Monday.
Wow.
There's still going to be additional guidance coming out over the past several weeks. One of the discussion points was, again, how to fill the gaps on those Mondays. And so there is some finalizing on how instruction and enrichment programs can take place on Mondays. I know that the commissioner is still finalizing those details. Tomorrow, the board has a special meeting at 1 o'clock to approve the revised implementation plan that he's presented. And then again, it's just really a wait and see as far as where the administration is going with this new revised budget proposal that was submitted, which the good news is at a higher level than the initial budget that was passed into law on October 1.
Okay, well, so maybe it might not cut into the class time as much, or there might still be...
There are going to be some cuts. Again, the last school year and the last fiscal year, we were operating on a $48 million budget, yeah? And that, when you compare that to the current implemented budget law, we're at 31. And the Governor Apatang's proposed budget for PSS in this new revised proposal is at 37 for PSS. So a lot of moving parts here, and so it's been difficult. And I know that I do give credit to the commissioner for just trying to manage all these different scenarios, and seeing how we can make do with what eventually gets decided on as our final budget.
Well, I'm not intimately familiar with all of the details and the structure with everything at PSS, but what I hear a lot of from educators who are out there is that PSS is so top heavy, and I hear it a lot. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if that's fair or if that's just people looking to find blame on what's going on. But that's it. That's the thing they're talking about. They're so top heavy.
That is a persistent perception, and I want to say that there is some truth to that, and that's why too, as we've arrived at the point that we're at now, I think one thing to make clear though, and this is something that Commissioner has also emphasized, is that we do need a strong school district to support each of the 20 schools and the various Head Start centers. But I did call it out, in several meetings, board and just one-on-ones with the commissioner and his team, that there is this nagging perception that PSS is top-heavy. When you look at the current budget law and the requirements that were implemented by the legislature as far as how the local funding was going to be spent, they made it very clear in the current budget law that 96% of that funding was going to go straight to the schools. And I think that's also a result of that perception. What's happening right now, and after we're through this budget journey, we are going to be working closely with the commissioner on a reorganization. I think one of the things too that I also personally didn't expect when I came on board, I was really just focused on my interest in curriculum, what we're teaching our kids. But then when I got on board, I realized, wow, this PSS is it's pretty much the largest agency in the CNMI, and so there are just so many facets to it, so many moving pieces. One thing that I'd like the community to also understand too is there are a lot of the positions in central office are also federally funded, but there's definitely been concern about equity in terms of compensation, and so that's something that the board is also looking at, and something I too have been looking at myself and Vice Chair Barcinas as the two newest members to the board. We're very cognizant too of what our own constituents have been sharing with us in terms of their own concerns. And so I know that my presence has been felt as far as my own concerns, not only on the board itself, but with the commissioner and his team and central office and across the schools, that I'm definitely someone that's very focused on equity, and then of course not to mention transparency and accountability. And so while it's not front and center and in the news, there has been a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of what we've been doing on the board to continue supporting the system, supporting our schools, and that recognition too that our teachers are critical. And to that end, in fact, one thing I wanted to share with the community too is, back in May, one of the biggest concerns I got was this clause within all employment contracts that any employee could be not renewed without cause. And so I worked with my colleagues on the board, and we passed a resolution essentially getting rid of that, so that now there has to be cause for any kind of non-renewal. And what that did was it really removed like this sense of fear that was present in the schools, in central office. So I want to say that that's one of the achievements that I'm also proud of.
Well, it also, that helps empower the teachers to try to make a difference. Aside from in the lives of the students, a lot of the teachers have not said things because that they thought maybe weren't being done the right way, because of the fear of not being renewed. Because if they do bring something up, well, all of a sudden they're not going to get renewed for their contract next time it comes up, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was humbled because actually, in fact, at the cultural festival on Saturday, I ran into some folks that I don't normally see around. Employees of the system, a couple of them teachers, but people come up to me, and they say that, my efforts have not gone unnoticed, and that they are very appreciative that those are some of the priorities that I'm trying to work through to ensure that people feel protected, and so that's one area that I think within the system we continue to work on and improve, and that is employee protections.
All right, this is not about any one person, but I know I'm thinking about it as just one position. I know the expense is probably not super massive, but maybe there was a time we needed to bring people in from off island to do things like to be like a commissioner or something like that, but we don't need that now, right? We've got qualified local folks who can be here and everything. At least I remember that part of the compensation for the commissioner was a vehicle that was being taken care of. Is that something that we still need, do you think?
I have to look into that. I'm not sure that that's a benefit. You might know more than me, but I don't know. I can absolutely look into it and get back to you on that.
It's just part. So it is part of my little things. Like as we're looking at all the reality of our economic situation now, right? Like like the director of so and so gets this, or the company vehicle for this, and all this other stuff. And I remember for years the commissioners of PSS would get the vehicles also, and there were leases that were charged to PSS. And there's not a single school that's inaccessible by a regular car or something like that. But they've got like some tinted 4-wheel drives and stuff like that. It's like, why in the world would would PSS be spending money on that vehicle for and the fuel, right? For somebody who's running the schools?
Brad, I really can't speak to that until I look into it and confirm that that's actually the case. But yeah, I'm happy to get back to you on that.
Yeah, it's point. So, we're going all out. Hey, I know you got other stuff. I didn't see it in the meeting, but I saw the story too. Last one is this restroom thing. I don't know what that was about, but I saw some. Is it changing all of them to like Ally McBeal style? That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut for you younger viewers.
I know you're dating us.
Yeah, I know.
That's an ongoing conversation. I don't know that with the time I have available that I could really speak to that. So I'd actually like to pivot a little and perhaps use the rest of my time to focus on some other priorities that I wanted to share on. And one of them speaks to this question too about some of the benefits, that certain employees are enjoying, if you will, but really as a result of what you're hearing. And that is that one of the things that I'm going to be proposing at our next board meeting, and I have to give credit to, I've met a lot of amazing folks during my time on the board, other state board members from especially Guam that I've worked closely with over the past year. But that is the Guam Department of Education. I believe 2 years ago they actually launched a hotline that is housed with their internal auditor to receive complaints and concerns from the community that's completely anonymous, similar to OPA's website. And so that's something too that we're working on so that we can more efficiently receive complaints and concerns, particularly from people who want to remain anonymous. But that way too, we have an efficient way of receiving them. I tell you, Brad, I get so many calls, and I'm happy to receive the calls. That's my job. I'm here to help, not to micromanage, but I have to say that a lot of the work that I've done and the improvements that I've helped to make at the board level that have impacted the system in positive ways have really been from the community sharing them with me. And so I do want to thank members of our community out there that have really placed their trust in me in terms of being able to feel like they can share without risking any kind of backlash or retaliation. So that's one thing. Another thing that we're working on is back in July, I had attended the annual Micronesian Islands Forum. I was part of the CNMI delegation, and I went with Governor Apatang and the CNMI delegation. And at the forum, I proposed that CNMI was going to host the first Micronesian Regional Education Summit. So that's coming up next spring.
Wow.
In April. Yes, very exciting. And the exciting part about it is we're really going to provide a platform for our youth leaders. I think if you talk to people that have been following the work that I've been doing while I've been on the board, that has really been about elevating our youth leaders and their voices. The last time I was on your show, I don't know if you recall, but I was on a call because I was on Guam at the time. And that was when we were attending the UOG Sustainability Conference. And at that conference, before the conference, I rounded up all of the student council presidents from all the high schools across all 3 islands, and not just the high schools, but even the junior high schools. So Hopwood, Cha-Cha, Tinian Middle School, Tanapak Middle School, their STUCO presidents also joined us, and our youth leaders had such a great time. It was an amazing learning experience, amazing networking experience for them. And so what's going to happen is at this education summit that we're going to be hosting, we're really going to be highlighting their voices, their ideas, their position, and just we have such amazing talent on our island that I'm just so proud of. A couple months ago, I had the commissioner and his team also put together the first CNMI STEM showcase, because I was seeing all these great teams, and not just from our public schools, but also our private schools. And I want to make special mention too of SIS and Mount Carmel. But we have just such amazing, intelligent, talented students that were going out there showcasing their STEM skills. And so we were able to get them all into one place to present on all their amazing robotics, apps that they were developing. The team from Southern High had developed an app to teach basically toddlers how to speak Chamorro. How amazing is that?
Wow.
Yeah. And then the rest of the teams were showing us all their sort of really neat, like, drones that they had created and built to just do different functions.
Man, if they could teach toddlers Chamorro, there's hope for me.
I'll link you up with the team.
Yes,
you can share the app.
We will be teammates. I'm in. I'm absolutely in. This is great. I know you said you got something at 9 o'clock, and you were saying that you had to be out at 8:40. We only got about 90 seconds to hit that time. So, do you want to squeeze anything in there?
I don't know if you have any burning questions that are coming in, but I really just wanted to reassure, our teachers, our students, our parents, our community. We're all in this together. These are going to be some rough times ahead of us. We're going to need to buckle down, but at the same time, I want our stakeholders and our community to know that we're here. We're very cognizant of the need and the importance of continuing the work that we're required to do, and that is to provide quality education to our students. And so I just want to say that I'm very reassured that we have a great team at PSS that is really working to address those gaps. And so while we're entering this 64-hour austerity period, the story's not quite over. And so, in the coming days and weeks, there's going to be more advice and information on how that's going to go about and how we're going to be able to ensure that we provide gap fillers to those Mondays so that we can work best to provide that education on those austerity Mondays. So that's still being finalized.
Maybe it's a great time to make that plug. There's a lot of kids who a core part of their nutrition every school year is being able to eat those school lunches or the breakfast programs and all that stuff. But PSS has a plan for that.
Right. And so Mr. Dale Roberts of the Child Nutrition Program that is funded by USDA has come out with a schedule for grab-and-go meals for those austerity Mondays. And so we're so fortunate that we still have access to those resources to continue providing meals to our students. I know that with this federal shutdown, there's also been interruption too in NAP benefits. As of right now, I don't know what impact, if any, that's going to have because just like our child nutrition program, NAP is also supported by USDA. So as of right now, unless something came out over the weekend that I'm not aware of, I do know that there are arrangements being made to ensure that meals are still provided on those off days.
Well, that's great. That is great. We got that memo. Thought that was great. Juan was in there saying, thank you, CODEP, for supporting our students and supporting our teachers. So thanks, Juan.
Thanks, Juan.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, I want to say thanks so much for coming in. Any shout outs to anybody before you go?
Gosh.
Where to be?
To our hardworking teachers, our unsung heroes, I've really gained even more respect for our teachers and our classroom aides and our SPED aides. They're such hard workers, and our classroom aides, man, definitely shout out to them. They have very hard jobs, and unfortunately, the pay scale isn't where we, obviously like it to be, but they still continue working to support our teaching staff and to support our SPED students And so, yeah, really that shout out goes to our teacher aides.
That's great. Well, Coda, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Giving us some updates on everything. I know you guys have been doing a lot of great work, and being able to hear it from you firsthand is just awesome.
Thanks for having me, and I look to, coming back a little bit more frequently. But,
yes.
There's some exciting things in the works, and we just got to get through this hump right now. But really for our people and our community to stay positive and know that we're all in this canoe together, and we all just have to help each other. Yeah. And myself and my colleagues on the board, we really want to ensure that we continue doing our job to provide that support that our commissioner and the entire system needs to keep functioning and serving our community.
Well, we're here for you, and you're here for everybody, so it works out great. All right, hey folks, we're going to take a real quick break. What I'm going to do, before we go off to a commercial break, I'm going to get you the latest news update. Let's see where we at. Here we go. Thanks again to our guest, Kodak, for being here with us this morning.
A break in that big Louvre theft. I'm Daria Albinger. There are arrests in last weekend's brazen jewel heist at the famous museum.
2 of the 4 potential suspects are in custody, but the race is on to recover those precious items. The Paris prosecutor's office said investigators made the arrest last night, adding that one of the men taken into custody was preparing to leave the country from Paris's Charles de Gaulle airport. Le Parisien newspaper says he was going to depart to Algeria. The 2 men are in their 30s, originally from a suburb north of Paris, and they are said to be known to French police.
That's Fox's Stephanie Bennett. Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 4 storm. It's headed for Jamaica.
Last-minute preparations by people here in many of the communities, stores that are boarded up, restaurants, hotels, all boarded up, aid groups on the ground, NGOs, State Department, the United States, watching this very, very closely, and officials monitoring, because what we are going to experience is going to be historic here in Jamaica for modern times. The last time anything even close was 1988. Hurricane Gilbert. This will be more intense. Mudslides, rock slides, landslides on the mountainous region here in Jamaica will be in play. Roads will crumble and massive power outages.
Fox's Robert Ray in Kingston. Malaysia first stop on President Trump's trip to Asia, but the main part is still to come.
Some good news from President Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who says a framework agreement has been agreed to with China, which covers rare earth minerals. Those minerals power everything from iPhones to cars to fighter jets, as well as TikTok and soybeans. President Trump arriving in Malaysia, breaking out his signature dance moves before getting serious, providing over that peace deal, ending decades-long hostilities between Southeast Asian neighbors, Cambodia and Thailand.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. America's listening to Fox News.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
We're heading into the final week before Election Day, and one of the most closely watched races nationwide is for mayor of New York City. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo running as an independent after losing the primary to Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani. The Republican nominee, once again, is Curtis Sliwa.
The Bernie Sanders group is telling us that they expect about 13,000 people to fill that big stadium in Queens. So we're going to keep an eye on that as people continue to trickle in. But the question about them being superstars, Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, does that also include now Zohran Mamdani, who's running for mayor of New York City and leading the polls? Andrew Cuomo says he's not even a Democrat. Because the Democratic Party has changed so much, people say it's no longer your father's Democratic Party. You know, it's becoming more extreme. Do you even consider yourself a Democrat anymore?
I am a Democrat. I don't consider them Democrats. Zohran Mamdani is a socialist. He happens to be on the Democratic line.
Andrew Cuomo there rallying with voters in the Jewish community today, not far from where this rally is in Queens. He tells me he will stand up to anti-Semitism.
That's Fox's Alexis McAdams. ICE and Border Patrol agents seized hundreds of firearms smuggled from Texas into Mexico.
Agents at the Laredo Bridge 2 port of entry stopped 2 southbound vehicles towing box trailers for inspection. They noticed irregularities in the walls and discovered false compartments packed with weapons. They seized roughly 400 firearms of various calibers, high-capacity magazines, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. Homeland Security officials say the guns were headed into Mexico, where cartels are fueling violence. The 2 drivers, a father and son, were arrested on charges of federal firearms smuggling. The father is a lawful permanent U.S. resident, his son a U.S. citizen. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
Beloved NFL player Nick Mangold has died at the age of 41. I'm Daria Aldinger. This is Fox News.
Fox Sports Update.
The 2025 World Series is all tied up, and Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto might be making that $325 million contract look worth it.
Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery.
On Fox, Yamamoto with a complete game, his second straight in these playoffs, as the Dodgers beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-1 in Game 2, sending things back to L.A. all even at a game apiece. Elsewhere, it is Week 9 of the college football season. Number 10 Vanderbilt and 15th-ranked Missouri were tied at 10 with just 2 minutes left when Vandy put the ball in the hands of its superstar.
Avia keeps it. Avia leaps. He scores. Touchdown Vanderbilt.
On ESPN, Vandy still had to survive a Hail Mary that was caught just inches short of the goal line on the last play of the game, but the Commodores do pull it out, 17-10. In another good game between ranked schools, number 8 Ole Miss went back and forth against 13th-ranked Oklahoma before taking the lead for good with 11.5 minutes to play.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Elsewhere, the talk that Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza could be the first overall pick in the NFL draft is probably only going to get louder. Mendoza throwing for 3 scores and rushing for another as his second-ranked Hoosiers shredded UCLA. Meanwhile, 4th-ranked Alabama had a scare, falling behind South Carolina by 8 in the 4th quarter. But Bama tied it up with just over 2 minutes to play, recovered a fumble, and then, with 40 seconds left,
Bernard breaks free. Jeremy Bernard. How about it?
On ABC, the Crimson Tide find a way and have now won 7 in a row. Finally, things have not been going great for Bill Belichick in his first season as North Carolina's head coach. But Saturday, his Tar Heels took Virginia, the 16th-ranked team in the country, to overtime before losing on a failed 2-point conversion. You can listen to and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Greg Thompson.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold Busch, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive Busch gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your Busch, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Busch. Grab your Busch today.
Light to you. Buy a pack here at home, win big prizes too. Gather your friends, the season is here. It's the 12 acts of Christmas from Bud Light.
The 12 weeks of cheers are on. Purchase any 12-pack of Bud Light, Budweiser, or Michelob Ultra cans now through December 19th for your chance to win a trip for two to watch your favorite NFL team live, plus weekly prizes. Details at currentcnmi.com. If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, goes the kind of wish. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
Nina's kitchen, so delicious.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm sorry, I love this jam. And it makes me think about what I want to get from Ina's Kitchen.
Nina's kitchen, so delicious. I need a
Come on.
soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. We are winding down the show a little bit today. We do have some news that we posted on the website. We're going to put on the socials here in just a little bit about the Trump administration. That's why it's a really good thing that the governor's committee is working on how to find some money for that NAP program that we've got, because as you can see on our website, the White House has said they are not going to be having the NAP benefits, the SNAP benefits at least, on November 1st. So hold on, I'm just pulling it up right now so I can show it to you guys. The let's show you on our website right now, whip down. So that's the story. It's on there. Trump administration posts notice that no federal food aid will go out November 1st. And that is not great news at all. But if you're looking for the silver lining, it's that our leaders are right now working on that in particular. So we posted that before we started the show this morning. We just weren't able to get it up on the socials beforehand. This is a story that came from the Associated Press. And it's all there, and you can read everything. It says, hey, U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, the same program that Kodup was just talking about for the lunches and everything, has posted a notice on its website saying that federal food aid will not go out November 1st, raising the stakes for families nationwide as the government shutdown drags on. You know, it's interesting. If you look, what I did, I took a screenshot of the page. Oh, geez, hold on. I'm just looking at what you guys are looking at right now, and kind of cuts part of it off. But you know, hey, of course, you can actually go watch it on the thing on the site itself. Here, let me slide this over a little bit. There you go. But look at that thing at the top. This is the stuff that I don't like about the administration, about how they get so petty with some things. And hey, don't get me wrong. Everybody has something. Like there's something that somebody does that sucks. And this is one of them, this petty thing. It says it right there. Senate Democrats have now, like, blaming it on just that party. Like that's the worst thing to me. I hate that. That just it's like reinforcing division for people. So I don't like it either. I'll read it anyway. It says Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamps program, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for health care for those illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance. It's like, Jesus. Like, these guys, like, post comments with the veracity of an angry high school girl who's catting about like some other girl who is hooking up with her boyfriend. I mean, like, that is crazy. Like that they're labeling all that stuff on there. I mean, like, I think a responsible government would say something about like we're unable to do this stuff as the government shutdown continues to go on. Not like throwing shade all over the place. Because what ends up happening with these kind of shutdowns, people come together and they're like, you know what, we got to think about the people that we serve, not just not just our colleagues and our personal interests and how we're going to be moving forward on different programs and stuff like that. And cooler heads usually prevail. So I'm surprised that it's still happening. I don't like this kind of language. It bothers me for sure with this administration. I do like some of the stuff that they're doing, but this is not one of them. Not when they say stuff like that. But anyway, so this is it right here, though. You can find this story. It's on our website, minewsservice.com, along with everything else that we post on there. So you get today's news today, not tomorrow. So there you go. But man, that's a tough one. It is an absolute tough one. This is just a few days away. People who are expecting, and it's not like people who are receiving benefits from the nutrition assistance program are living the high life. And yeah, that's all right. We can go a couple extra weeks because we got plenty extra going around and all that stuff. No, we're talking about people who are eligible for the nutrition assistance program. They qualify for those benefits for a reason. And they get those benefits, and our country sees that it's important enough for people to, what's supposed to be the leaders of the free world, should not have residents who are starving in our own country, and people who are not, food deprived in our own country. And now, luckily we've got stuff for the students for at least the short term, but we don't know how long that's going to last, as we heard from the board chair this morning. So this is something that I know this is going to force a lot of hands, because all the representatives of those states are going to be hearing about it. And I know that they're senators, not representatives, but they represent those states. So I know that everybody who is they don't just, as a senator, you don't just represent the people who voted for you. You and in the United States, or even here, you don't just represent the people who voted for you. You represent everybody in that state, like it or not. And if you have people in your state who are going to end up suffering because of this, do you want to be that guy? I mean, I don't think you want to be that guy. I think you want to build a bridge and figure some of this stuff out. Now, are they using this as a way to kind of force their way into some issues and knock some things off the books? Yep, I'm sure of it. And some of it sounds like it's a good idea, but this is just a real tough way of doing it. You're playing politics with people who, want to be able to eat next week. It's that simple. It's not a game at that point. It's not politics. When it comes down to it, if these people were standing outside of their door, they'd want to feed them. And that's it. Is there abuse in the system? I'm confident that that's the case. But something like this is it's going to have such a big impact on folks. I think basically, though, all the senators who aren't getting in there are definitely going to have to turn around and face some music to make sure that their constituents are going to get their the nutrition assistance that they're eligible for and they really need. So we'll see how that happens, but that's such a big impact. All right. Well, anyway, not an easy transition, but a transition nonetheless. Talk a little bit about sports from yesterday. We told you about the soccer game yesterday, and we got a message from Joey Mastalis, one of the guys that we played against yesterday. This is their team. They took a photo after our game, and this is them. That's Shirley's football club. After our game with them yesterday. Man, they are a tough bunch. These guys are good. And, we enjoyed a pretty decent first half where we had most of the control. But, boy, their youth and their strength, their endurance, and their determination really came on strong in the second half. And they were just putting it to us. I got a lot of work. I'll just say that. I watched our guys hustle to try to keep up with these guys, these through balls. They were watching them work. And holy cow, Joey Mastalis, dude, that I had no idea his footwork was as great as it was. I mean, I know he could play, but dude was on fire. The whole team, it was great. It was really great, and a really good team to play against. Now, I'm not just talking about talent, but I mean character, and so it was a pleasant game. There was none of that chirping or yelling back and forth or the trash talking, because everyone was just focused on the game, being good folks to each other, and I wish every soccer. Last week, our game was just like that too, against the guys from Old B Bank, and we hope that we can continue doing it like that. But that's not always the case. It is not always the case. PJ in the comments says, do you think it's fair for the government to focus only on NAP recipients? How about those working at 64 hours per pay period? Yeah, I'm with you, PJ. I totally understand that. But the reason why I could see it being a real big deal is because I think people here who are on the with the nutrition assistance, I think they were recipients, and maybe I'm not correct in this, but from my perspective, I think that the people who are receiving those benefits, they're not working 64 hours. You know what I mean? So they're not just getting a reduction in pay. They're going from being able to feed their kids to not. I mean, that's where, and when we were at the EBT card meeting, remember we had that press conference about, we're going to have the new EBT cards instead of food stamps. They said 19,000 people are on food stamps. 19,000. At the high side, our entire Commonwealth is like 40,000. We might have dipped below that now. So can you imagine half of the people who live in Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, and Northern Islands are on the rolls for that. So that's where I could see that they'd prioritize that. So I don't know if it's fair. I don't know how I would define fair with any of that stuff. But I think that it would be, like, you think of who qualifies for that stuff. You got your Monamco and you got children, right? It's not like those children can go out and get a job. This isn't China. They can't go start putting together iPhones and Nikes. So, and the Monamco, they did their time. You know, and the amount of money that they're qualified for that kind of assistance, a reduction, like they're probably just making it with what they have. And when that goes to zero, yeah, Ann says, when people go hungry, it gets scarier. I watch those zombie movies. Oh, man. You know what? We're not going yet because that reminds me of something I want to talk about. Oh, man. We don't need to talk about names. Definitely don't have to talk about names at all. I can talk about the situations, but definitely not going to talk about the names. Okay, well, let's, we can take Shirley's off the screen for that one, because this one's not Shirley's. But, tough subject. You know, we talked about this before, when we first started this whole program out of the spare bedroom of the house. And at that time, that was when, you know, there was the word was going around about, you know, the potential closer for the Hope Center and everything like that. And I remember thinking about how difficult it's got to be. If people were able to open up and share with me, trust me with their stories about how they got pulled into drugs and became addicted, and their daily battle of not having it, and their different strategies of battling their addiction, and it's a daily battle, right? They have to fight that every single day. Well, I've got a friend that I had heard about that got into it, and it was difficult to see. And I didn't see him doing it, and I didn't see this happen. But I've known people who have gotten into it. I've seen people who I looked up to, you know, who were respected in their communities. People who lost great jobs. People who lost their family. People who struggled to keep in their family after they became addicted, and then lost it, and then battled back. I saw the pain and the tears of moms and wives in trying to keep their family together with their kids. And the stuff that you don't see is the worst part because of how bad it can be. In this particular instance, I know that this family had one hell of an ordeal. They had a real challenge with one of their kids. The kids, you know, started out maybe sneak a little drink here or there, you know, smoke a little pot here and there. Oh, it's not a big deal, right? Then it got worse. Then it got into worse things, you know, to where this kid's unrecognizable anymore, to where the kid, you know, attacked his parents and attacked the neighbors. This peaceful, loving kid turned into, you know, someone that you just don't know how to help them, right? And I don't know what the answer is for that. And I'm not talking about it for that, but I watched how then the dad, you know, just started to try to find coping mechanisms to deal with that too. And who knows what's going through his head throughout that whole problem, that whole situation. I mean, just imagine where you'd be when you watch your son or your child totally become a different person. This child that you created out of love in your home gets addicted to drugs and becomes an absolute different person. Again, breaking windows, doors, attacking you as their parent, attacking your neighbors. And so the dad had some coping issues to deal with that too. And, you know, he maybe have a few beers or smoke a little bit. And then I heard that he ended up getting on ice too, but I didn't see it. Well, I saw it yesterday. And this is somebody that we know. This is somebody that we love. And it was very difficult to see it. Because as we were hanging out, a guy who we hadn't seen for a few months, too, all of a sudden popped back in. He's like, hey, I'm good, right? Yeah, come on. And you could tell he was still struggling with some stuff. Having a couple of beers with the guys and everything. It was just, hopefully, the guy would feel a little normal being around us and everything. Then he disappeared for a little bit. Maybe it was to hit the restroom or something like that. But when he came back, it was just so evident. It was just so evident that he took something. It's easy to assume that he just smoked a little bit of ice. And it was just like that zombie thing you're talking about and the change and, just, it was painful to see. And how do you handle that situation? Well, at that point, it was just, a few of the guys who were left, and we were just kind of, having those conversations and letting it go. But, the thing is, afterwards, it's like, well, crap, man. I guess it was not okay, but there was no danger of anything yesterday as it was just us. But, like, would you let that guy hang out if your family's there? Do you feel safe with that? Can you trust them with that? Would you invite him to your house? And my answer is no. I couldn't invite him to the house. Now that I know for sure that he's using. I don't want him to be around my kids if he's using. I don't want my kids to see someone like that and say, well, if he's here, my parents trust him, so we can trust him. Because I couldn't. This was a different person when he came back, I'm telling you. I had a long conversation with our friends individually last night afterwards. I'm like, I don't know what that next step is. I don't know what that next step is to say, and you guys, if you have the answers, let me know. That's part of this. I reached out to some people and I asked last night, when I got home, I sent a couple of messages out. Said, hey, hope this message doesn't wake you up, but what would you do? Is it the next step? Did you head that off before it even happens? Say, hey, love you, man. But we can't have you around if you're going to be using. We can't have you at any of our gatherings. And then, it's a tough conversation. And I don't even know is that the appropriate conversation? Do you wait till the guy just shows up? And you got to tell him that then? And because he might be all smoked out when he shows up. And this is a guy that we just told him that how much we love him and we want everything to go well for him. So does that make you a hypocrite by turning him away? I don't know what the answer is. So struggling with that during those conversations afterwards last night and today. Talk about it with him. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's it. But and what is that conversation? How does that start? Hey, got a minute? It's a tough one, man. That's a hard truth. Yeah, I'll tell you, though, here's what I do know for sure, is that you can't fix anybody. You can't change people unless they're ready to change. And I heard it through some of the most emotional conversation at an event over at Dandad Middle School. I don't remember if it was earlier this year or late last year, where the governor signed a proclamation. I think back when he was lieutenant governor. And the funny clip was, he was talking about methamphetamines, but he had a little difficult time trying to pronounce it. So he's like, that's how you know they're bad. It's even hard to say. Kind of lightened it up a little bit. But I can't remember her name, but there was a woman who was the speaker there. And this, I think, was about, adopting kids. And I think that's what the event was. And this woman who had adopted 2 children. She already has 2 kids with her husband. And her sister got addicted to ice. And she watched this girl she grew up with continue and get deeper into that addiction and spiral into all that stuff. And she's like, man, what can I do? She went to people and asked them, what am I doing wrong? And the reality is, they told her that there's nothing she can do. She can't be the one to change her sister. Her sister has to change it. And so, while she's still struggling to raise her kids, she brought her sister's kids into her home. And she currently raises them. And there was a time when her sister was getting better. She was really hopeful. And she got back into it. Hearing that story was such an eye-opener about the struggle that families go through with this stuff. So this stuff I'm talking about with our friend is just about preserving the safe environment for the families and our friends and all that stuff too. It's nothing like what they're going through. But still, this is the closest to my life that this kind of stuff has been. I've been blessed with folks who haven't really gone down that road. I haven't lost friends to drugs. But there's this guy's, he's about as close as they get. Yeah, PJ, that's it. She took in her sister's kids. Beautiful story for her, and tragic. But a great story, and one that helped me understand about, that you can't fix everybody. You can't fix everything, and it's not even there. Oh, hell yeah, Tobat. That's right. Hell yeah. Troy and Johnny over at Candid. Mm-hmm. There's no quick fix. There's no cure-all. There's no one thing that works for everybody. But I know Troy's faith is definitely a driving factor for him. But I'll tell you that last night, that was really difficult. It was very difficult to see. And we're not the only ones going through this, right? I mean, this is just the closest it's gotten to us. Now, this guy who used to be part of the circle is now pushed out to the fringe, right? And that story of our friend that we're telling you about, I didn't even tell you all of it. All that stuff that was happening when he started getting into this stuff. him and his wife ended up having a daughter recently. Well, I mean, relatively recent, like 5 years now. And when the husband started getting into it, she was seeing what was happening with her son, seeing what was happening with her husband. And can you imagine? And they weren't just like together for a few years. They've been together for a long time, like more than 20 years. The gut-wrenching decision that a wife and a mother would have to make. Say, that I may have lost them, but I'm not going to lose this little girl too. So she packs her stuff and moves to the mainland. An act of love spurred by so much pain. And that lady has the perpetual smile. She's so nice. Kind, loving, generous. I haven't had a conversation with her about this. I can't imagine how that would go. But it's not a decision you can make easily. But to be driven to that, that can help really paint that picture. And so now this guy, he's got a restraining order against his son. And that home that they had, they don't live there anymore. Wife and daughter in the mainland. Who knows, really, where his son is? He doesn't. And his son's an adult now. And he's staying with someone else that hopefully can help him on his journey back. But man, last night, I'm telling you, it was evident. It wasn't maybe. It wasn't just what do you think maybe? No. Have you seen somebody who just smoked ice? That look in their eyes? A little more animated than normal, but the look, the intensity on some of it. Man. It's the scourge of our islands. We got a lot of issues to deal with, but that's one. Well, anyway, thanks for sticking around for that story. That's not easy. And there's probably hundreds of stories like that in Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. Everybody's got their own story about that. Maybe everyone's got a family member or they're connected to somebody somehow. It's just so painful to even think about what if it was you? What if that was your kid? Yeah. All right, folks. I didn't mean to bring everybody down, but that was something I definitely knew I want to talk about with you guys today. Because I think it's an important thing. It can't get swept under the rug. You guys could send me messages, let me know how you would deal with some of that stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, you don't have to put it in the comment section. You can slide into our DMs. And if maybe you just want to get something off your chest too, share a similar experience. Maybe you're listening to it and you're going through it right now. Maybe you're battling an addiction while you're listening to this. Maybe you're at that early stage where, no, man, I can handle this. And then gets to be a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then next thing you know, you can't live without it. Nothing makes you feel like the way you feel when you're taking it. And everything else just doesn't seem to matter. It steals your soul. Well, I can tell you that if you're battling those addictions, you're battling those demons, the people who know you and love you are hurting for you. And if you get to a point where people have to, it seems like people are turning their back on you, I can tell you it's not because it's the easy road for them. It's not. Yeah, PJ, no. So, I could tell you the specifics about it. This is someone that we've known for like 20 years. Really, known this guy for 20 years. He didn't just hang out with us, and I'm leaving out some of the specifics just because, I'm leaving out the specifics because I don't want to identify anybody's name for any of this stuff. But you want to give me a call after the show or something, I'd tell you about it. But he wasn't friends with somebody who was a friend with somebody that we know or something like that. This is a guy who was part of our everything for over 20 years. You'll understand, believe me, when I tell you, you'll understand that we are not that crowd. That is 100% not our crowd. I could totally understand what you're saying in that comment, 100%. But you'll understand how he got over to us yesterday. Yeah, it was a short conversation. I'm just trying not to narrow it down, not to be too on the nose with who it is. So, sucks. All right, well, not an easy transition out of that. But we've got some stuff that we're going to be posting today about the food benefit stuff. Give you an update on what's going on with the governor's office throughout the day, and just a whole bunch of stuff. And we got the baseball playoffs tonight. I'll PM you. Thanks. All right. Well, here, let's do this at the very least. We can get you. And I think Tobot would appreciate this, a little World Series preview for Game 3 tonight. So here we go. After this, we'll call it a show. But thank you guys for tuning in and sticking around and for your comments and all the other things. Yes, he says, but hey, Dodgers head to home field tomorrow. Yeah, and we're going to hear about that right now. Here you go, Tobot.
Fox Sports Update.
Last chance for NASCAR drivers to qualify for next week's Championship 4. They're in Martinsville today. Ryan Blaney and William Byron have combined to lead all but 19 laps. They're currently running 1 and 2, both needing a win to get through. 50 laps to go. The World Series off today. The Dodgers and Blue Jays heading west for Game 3, tied 1-1. 40-year-old Max Scherzer gets the ball for Toronto, pitching in his 4th career World Series with 4 different teams. Scherzer won it all with the Nationals in 2019 and Rangers in 2023.
So fortunate to have another crack at this. I mean, there's so many great players that have never gotten a World Series. So many great players where they only have 1 World Series. With Donnie on our team, he's gone his whole career, and now this is his first moment.
Donnie being longtime player, manager, coach Don Mattingly. Game 3 Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on.
It's Will Kane Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Fox. In the NBA, before the Spurs home opener today, the team honored longtime head coach Greg Popovich with a banner celebrating his NBA record 1,390 wins, 5 NBA titles. There was no ceremony. That's exactly how the 76-year-old wanted it. NFL scores, the early window over the Bills with a productive bye week last week. They come out and blast the Panthers 40-3 to end a 2-game skid. The Eagles cruise past the Giants 38-20, Patriots 32, Browns 13. The Texans upset the Niners 26-15. 3 coaches feeling pressure and coming up big. John Harbaugh's Ravens snapped the Bears' 4-game win streak 30-16. Mike McDaniel's Dolphins blew out the Falcons 34-10, and the Jets come back from 31-16 down in the fourth quarter to top the Bengals 39-38. Aaron Glenn's first win in his 8th game leading New York. New college top 25 AP poll, top-ranked Ohio State Idol. The rest of the top 10 all won Saturday. Vanderbilt hopped over Miami to number 9, their highest ranking since 1937. For more scores, stories, and features, go to foxsports.com. I'm Tim McMaster.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
It's a brand new day in the Marianas. Coffee's hot and we're full of promise. So say it on the genie and feel the glow. We've got the stories you wanna know. The palm trees sway, the traffic's light. Sunrise news, we're feeling right. Tune in now, don't miss your chance. Start your day with Island Dance. And good morning. Good morning, Marianas. Good morning, Marianas. And good morning. And good morning.
All right, I lied. I'm not gone yet. All right, here, this is something that just came through just a little bit ago. Just a heads up from the governor's office, letting you guys know there's going to be some fighter jets flying around here today. And they're ours, so that's good news. They're ours. So it says, this just came out. Office of the Governor would like to inform the public that the same jet fighter crews that were conducting training approaches over Saipan last week will be resuming similar exercises today between the hours of 10 and 11:30, and then again this afternoon, 3 p.m. to 4:30. While the exact number of aircraft participating not yet been confirmed, residents can expect to see and hear several low approaches near the Saipan International Airport during these times. Additional training flights may also take place throughout the week, beginning today. These flights are part of routine military training operations and are not cause for alarm. The Office of the Governor encourages the community to remain calm and assures the public that there's no threat to safety. By the way, they could probably do without that sentence, right? These flights are no cause for alarm. Remain calm. Calm down. This is just a regular deal. And I remember this from my time with the military. I'm not talking when I was active Army grunt guy. I'm talking about my civilian military role. These are just regular. Sometimes they're touch and go. Sometimes they don't even land. They just do a real low pass to familiarize themselves with the runway itself. So they know, like, if they're coming through the area and if something was happening, it's just a good idea to know where there's a friendly airport where they can land and where what that looks like, so they can have a real good feel of how that particular runway is, what the winds are like, and all that other stuff. That's pilot stuff. So that's just a regular thing, and they do it all over the place. They do it at airports all over the world. So it just happened to be around here for this time. So yeah, no cause for alarm. These are our guys. It's not. Now, if you see a red star on there, then we might have issues. So that's not the same thing. All right, guys. Now we're really going to get out of here. So take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning for a Good Morning Marianas. Thanks for being with us today. No, I can play this. How about that?
Good morning, Mariana.
A little throwback.
So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Mariana.
We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead.